engineering, where all code is generated and LLMs effectively act as natural language compilers from English to code, the problem has shifted away from needing to handhold your Claude or your cursor agent through solving an issue, and it's now about like how many issues you can do at the same time. And a lot of workflows for this are very much a band-aid fix, using TMUX, some kind of terminal multiplexer, or just multiple terminals to work on multiple issues at the same time. If I want to work on this repo and I want to say I have a prompt for it, I want to add goal tracking in a directly on the home screen, I have to fire off this prompt, and then while this prompt is working, I can't do anything else in this section. I have to either make a new work tree, which is such a pain, or I have to go find something else to work on in another repo. Maybe I'm going to go to my Vim repo, I'm going to change my frickin' dot files. And what this does is it creates a constant need to switch between contexts, switch between terminals, switch between screens, and make new work trees, pull down new projects, and find new issues to work on. And this is so fatiguing for developers. And what I've noticed working at Shopify is that people hate this constant context switching from issue to issue, from agent to agent, and it really slows down the development process. And this is why I built Meringue. Meringue is effectively an orchestration layer that sits on top of your favorite coding harness. It's harness agnostic, and it allows you to work on multiple issues at the same time without ever leaving the same view. So right now, if I want to start working on a project, maybe I want to add a README to the Meringue project. I want to update the README to talk about how Meringue now supports codecs and cursor integration. And I can fire off this prompt, and you'll see this prompt is non-blocking. We can send as many chats as we want. This is because every time you send a prompt, Meringue spawns a new head agent session, which is responsible for delegating the issue, creating the work tree, and spawning the agents that will actually work on it. And this allows you to not have to constantly be CDing around and navigating the terminal commands and running all these Git commands and work tree creation. And it lets you focus more on the creative aspect of software development. And we can see what keeps this safe is the deterministic kernel. Meringue doesn't just allow agents to do anything. It uses a kernel with some preset commands that allow agents to create work trees, create projects, create issues. And these head agents, rather than running commands on their own unsafely, they return structured kernel command outputs, which are validated against the kernel. And you as the developer can see this in the logs, just in case anything goes wrong, any errors come up. And this ensures that everything is safe. And meanwhile, at the same time, there's this conversation section, which, as you can see, some issues I was working on before, because I actually used Meringue to build Meringue itself once it was at a high enough level. This displays like when pull requests are completed, when different things happen, or if an error would come up. And then the most important thing I find is on the left, this agent tree. This agent tree is kind of our source of truth and our easy access to all of the issues we're working on, with little icons and almost like a file tree. We could see that, okay, in this simply lift repo, drop sets were added to the exercise card. And meanwhile, this was already completed. And at the same time, Meringue is working, is being worked on the README. I don't know why it's spelling this wrong. It's just my voice to text, I guess. And it's adding the README for codecs and cursor integration. And so maybe at the same time, I'm like, shoot, actually, we don't have codecs yet. We actually don't have codecs yet, so I don't want to add that to the README. Meringue will spawn a separate head agent session to work, and it will be able to use the kernel commands to find that this is already being worked on, and it will append a follow-up message to the Meringue README agent rather than starting a whole new issue. So all of this stuff is kind of managed for you, and it doesn't sacrifice the actual skill of the agents, and it works just as well as a human doing it. And we can see that the head agent completed, and so now it applied a follow-up prompt to the actual agent working on that issue, so that it's not going to include codecs. Now it's just included cursor for the integration. But yeah, basically this just solves the problem of having to constantly switch between different contexts and lets you manage everything in one view and one source of truth. And at the same time, say something goes wrong, say you're not seeing the PR come up. Well, you can actually jump into the work tree or the agent tree, and I can go see. I can jump into the PI, the codecs, the Claude Code session, for whatever was being worked on. So you can see this is an actual Pi session that is running that implemented the drop set model. And this just allows you for more debugging, or like say you want to investigate something, you want to see why an agent's doing something in particular, you can still go in and do that. And so we can see this agent that's currently working and what it's actually doing. It's writing the PR right now. And yeah, so this is basically my solution to the current problem of context switching with agentic engineering. And I'd love to see what you guys think. And thank you so much for watching my demo.